So hey guys, today we're going to be talking about a card that I've always wanted to build a deck around, but I couldn't really figure out a good way to do this. So we have Armageddon Designator. Banish one card from your hand. Neither player can activate cards or the effects of cards with that name for the rest of this duel. So the first obstacle, of course, is in this case, I want to, of course, banish cards from my hand that are going to really negatively impact my opponent. So the best thing I could banish is probably just key engine cards. So for example, if I'm playing against yugioh, I would want to be banishing like a D-Lotus, and then this would prevent D-Lotus from activating the effect and all of that, you know? So you cannot activate the effect of D-Lotus. That goes two ways, and uh, this doesn't just apply to monsters, this also can apply to spells and traps. So for example, we could also banish from my hand, I guess, like a runic fountain or whatever runic quick play spells. We could banish all of those, and they would not be usable for the entirety of the duel, rendering them kind of useless. And Armageddon Designator being a normal trap means we could technically recycle it a bit, and maybe we could do, I don't know, like rollback Armageddon Designator if we really want to. Since it's a normal trap, it's also more searchable as well. But okay, issue. I need to banish the card specifically from the hand and not like on field or something. So that means I would need to get my opponent's cards and put them in my hand. So I guess we can do exchange. Okay, that's like kind of rough. So now I have to somehow set up exchange with Armageddon Designator. So I would probably need to set up like a loop, and this wouldn't be doable as like an actual deck, and maybe we'll have to resort to an FTK essentially, and kind of just loop exchange and Armageddon Designator constantly. So that seems kind of lame. So we're just not going to do that if possible. But alright. If we can get our opponent's cards, though, of course, we can just banish them and make the deck pretty unplayable. So, for example, if I'm playing against Tenpai, well, already robbing them of their one of Chundra, pretty bad. But, you know, let's say I take your one of Chundra, and I'll make it so Chundra is no longer activatable. Neither player can activate. Instead of cards, we'll just replace the word cards with Chundra here. Neither player can activate Chundra or the effects of Chundra for the rest of the duel. Pretty much, right? So we can do that, and we can also do that to like Genroku, Fadra, Pydra, whatever. And certain decks, of course, completely won't be able to play without certain monsters or cards. So for example, with Dinomorphia, if we were to banish specifically, we could do banish domain and banish frenzy. In this case, what does the deck do now? You have Diplos and Therizia control, I guess. That's not able to easily beat an Ash Blossom Joy Spring until your life points are 2,000 or less. In which case, I don't know. I can set Marshmallow, I guess, or something. I don't know, just something in general. There are a lot of cards with really high defense for some reason now, so I guess I could set one of them. Yeah. Problem one is getting Armageddon Designator to begin with, which I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And then issue two, I need or want my opponent's cards, and I want to kind of like put them in my hand, right? So that might be a little bit difficult, and specifically we want the key cards, so that's a little hard, getting our opponent's cards into our hand. So for example, let's say I snatch steal my opponent's card and I compulse. If I were to compulse, then it goes to my opponent's hand and not mine. So that's not great either. So that's a little bit problematic. I guess worth mentioning is that Cursed Seal the Forbidden spell also exists, but it's kind of awkward needing you to specifically have a spell and not just any card. discard to negate activation, but you know, worth mentioning that this has a similar effect where your opponent cannot activate spell cards with that name for the rest of this duel. So that's pretty gnarly, I guess. So for example, we could do this against Nightmare Pain or Nightmare Throne, and that would be pretty good, I guess. So yeah, we're just really looking for ways to resolve Armageddon Designator here. And main issue, I guess, getting opponent's cards and then somehow getting this as an extra strategy. I mean, right now this deck is built like kind of meme, but Penguin Soldier, Lava Golem, right? And then the compulso idea here is that I could like maybe Sphere Mode or Lava Golem my opponent, and then we can compulse back Lava Golem or Winged Dragon of Ra to do it again. And then I don't know, with Penguin Soldier, which can return cards as well, so we can return Lava Golem, Sphere Mode. If Penguin Soldier can resolve, I guess, alongside the compulse, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of the other strategy that is kind of in this deck, but I mean, I'd much rather like hard focus on Armageddon Designator and having a deck resolved or revolved around this instead, mostly, but pretty hard to do in my opinion. But I don't know, maybe in a low enough power format we could do it. Maybe it's like see can I not spell? What if we type like this? Nothing. Do I have filters on? What? Tsukuyomi. Oh. Really bad spelling, I guess. So maybe we could, I don't know, Tsukuyomi, Magician of Faith. So maybe Magician of Faith, add back exchange, and then we have Mask of what's it called? Mask of Darkness, add back Armageddon Designator, and we could maybe just do this over and over again until we bash all of our opponents like key cards with Armageddon Designator. I mean, if we were to do something like this, we'd be borderline having to play stun, which I mean, I guess technically we could, I guess. Maybe I'm considering this a little bit now, but yeah. Exchange is like probably the only way I can think of to kind of like add our opponent's cards to our hand. So yeah, really hard to make a strategy out of this, but if you guys have any ideas or anything like that for resolving Armageddon Designator or any cases where it might be good, just let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll be able to finally build a deck around Armageddon Designator. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.